all this stuff like that. But I don't know. I mean, I've heard of horror stories. Like there are a couple of authors. I'm not going to give you the names, but sales actually go down in the areas where they tour. Like, and thank goodness I haven't reached that point in my career just yet. Like that, and we've been really, really fortunate. This book is the best-selling book so far. It is. First week of sales, it landed at number 5 on the New York Times bestsellers list. Like that, we got beat out by Danielle Steele. My first words were, "She's still alive?" And then 2 James Pattersons, like that, which was kind of funny, like that, because somebody at one of the events, like that, they stood up and asked me a question. They said, "I haven't read all your books," and I said, "Well, I haven't read all of them either." Everybody started laughing, like, and I looked at her and I said, "If my name was James Patterson, that could be true." Like, so I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter. I don't. Anyway, like that, yeah, and absolutely just incredible crowds. Like we had to, a lot of times we had to move out of the bookstores and actually go to either libraries or event centers, like to actually do the events. The one down at the Tattered Cover, it's like one of the biggest independent bookstores in the Rocky Mountain time zone, like down there on Colfax. And usually we could squeeze everybody in down there in that basement area like that, but there were just too many. And so they moved us down to the Lone Tree Event Center, which has a capacity of 500, and it was standing room only.
Nice.
I don't take any of the credit. I figure Walt's the one to blame. Like that. For him. Like that. But I think also for a lot of people, what's happened is like they've had the 6 seasons of Longmire, like to get kind of in tune with Walt and Absaroka County, and now there isn't any new season coming out. Like, and so what they've discovered was if they want more, they have to do something arcane, like pick up a book. And, for me, that's kind of my job, to lure them back over from the dark side, to get them reading books again, like that. But yeah, like that. And before anybody gets started asking any questions about it, like that, right now, we're kind of in a holding pattern, I guess, like that is what you'd call it. Warner Brothers and Netflix are kind of like, having a power struggle right now, like that. And what's happened is that Netflix wanted the foreign rights. They wanted the foreign rights, international rights to the TV show, and Warner Brothers wouldn't give it to them. The reason why they want that is because their big growth market is overseas, and so they want to be able to show Longmire all over the world. Well, they can't because Warner Brothers holds the international rights and won't let them do it. Like that. And so that's when Netflix said, "Well, okay, well then we're going to finish up the 6th season, but we're not going to do any more." And and Warner Brothers said, "Okay," because we've jumped ship and gone to another network before, and I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't do it again. They have not destroyed the sets for Longmire. Cool. They're all in storage. And whenever they cancel a show or whenever the show is pretty much dead and gone, first thing that happens is they tear up and burn all the sets and they're gone. Well, our sets are sitting safely in storage. And so we're waiting to see what's going to happen with Warner Brothers. And everybody's talking about the possibility of maybe TV movies, which would make a much easier production schedule, where you could get all the cast together for like a month, or 3 weeks, and be able to film a TV movie, as opposed to an entire season, which takes about 4 months of a chunk of time. Although I've talked to a lot of the cast members, and they're like, "We'd like to come back for 4 months." So, and everybody keeps asking also if they're going to continue doing Longmire days over in Buffalo. And from what I understand from the Buffalo Chamber, they're going to roll Robert and I out in wheelchairs. Still going to happen. It's kind of an unnatural disaster. Just imagine Buffalo with 20,000 extra people. It's really kind of funny. And I remember the first year that the actors showed up. All of the restaurants and all the grocery stores ran out of food. All of the banks and ATM machines ran out of money.
Oh my God.
All of there wasn't anywhere to get a room for like 90-mile radius. And then the really funny part was everybody had their cell phones out, and they were all walking around with their cell phones with the little blue circle of death, trying to get, reception from the one little tower that's over there in Buffalo. They overrun the bandwidth. They're all walking around with their phones like this, and I'm walking up to them going, "Yeah, why doesn't Walt carry a cell phone?" And this is one of the places where it'll actually work most of the time. But I don't know. I don't know if you guys saw the 6th season. I don't want to give any spoilers or anything like that. But if you saw the 6th season, there was actually there was a performance in the 6th episode in the 6th season that I think, probably was an Emmy Award winning. Now those of you who are laughing, you're right. It's good that you're laughing because it's funny. It's not serious at all. What happened was like for about 5.5 years they've been on to me trying to get me to do a cameo role. And every time I go, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to. I'm just not comfortable doing it. Don't want to do it. That's another world. I'm the books. This is the TV and Hollywood. And that's another world. Anyway, they kept asking me, kept on to me. I mean, the very first pilot episode, Chris Chulak, the director, he said, we got a scene here in the Red Pony Bar and Grill. We can just pan past you, and you could be drinking a Rainier, at the bar. He said, you've had plenty of experience doing that. You don't need any rehearsal or anything like that, so you should be able to do that. And I kept saying, no, I don't want to do it. And so finally, here in the 6th season, we went down last spring. And, we'd go down at the beginning of the season, and we'd go down about the middle of the season, and then they would all come up to Wyoming for Longmire days. And so anyway, we get down there about the middle of the season, they're filming the 6th episode. We get down there, and we walk into Greer Garson Studios, and the 3 producers are standing there. And my wife, Judy, goes over and stands with them. I'm not too bright, but I know a lynching party. And so I'm looking at him, and Greer Shepherd, who's the head producer, she steps out and she goes, Craig, we want you to do your cameo role in this episode. And I said, no, I don't want to do it. I really don't. I said, I've been really clear about that. I don't want to do it. And she goes, we have an entire set. We have everybody's waiting, the sound, the crews, the lighting, makeup, costuming, everything is all done, and we're all sitting there waiting for you. It's the first scene to be shot this morning, and if we don't have an actor to play the role. So if you don't do this, it's going to cost us hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, I look at her, she goes, it's 30 seconds long. It's 30 seconds long. You don't have any lines. You don't have to memorize anything. All you have to do is just do what the director tells you to do, and you're good to go. So I'm looking at the 4 of them, and I thought, I'm going to be able to talk my way out of this. So I said, all right, fine. And so, I was not behaving very well. And so I turn around, walk back across, the parking lot, and I get over there where Danielle Moore is. And she's the costumer, and she comes walking out. She's got a black suit, black shirt, black hat, black boots. And she hands them to me. And I look at her and I'm like, well, what am I playing, a mortician? She says yes. So then they dump me on the wagon, at this little van, and they run me over to the funeral home where they're doing the scene. We get over to the funeral home, and Robert Taylor is sitting there at the table waiting with this big smirk on his face. He's been waiting for 5.5 years for this, right? So I walk in, and I sit down, and he goes, well, it's kind of appropriate, don't you think? And I said, what do you mean? He says, well, in the final analysis, you're the one responsible for whether we live or die. It seems kind of right that you should be playing this role. And so anyway, he promised he's not going to monkey with me too badly while I'm trying to do my 30 seconds of stardom. And so anyway, the director comes over, and he looks at me and he goes, Greg, we're just so excited about this, and I'm glad somebody is. And he says, well, it's real simple, it's real easy. He says, all you got to do, Robert's going to walk by the funeral urns, he's going to walk over here, he's going to sit down at the table, he's going to stumble and fumble out, some dollar bills, and kind of shuffle them across the table towards you. You're going to pick them all up, smooth them out, count them, give him a meaningful look, and then reach down and pick up this box of ashes. I'm not going to give it away, but there's a character that dies in the 6th season. And so anyway, you're supposed to pick up the ashes, take the ashes, put them on the table, and slide them across to Robert, basically intimating to him that for that amount of money, you don't get a funeral urn, you get the cardboard box is what you get. So I'm thinking, all right, that's a pretty witty bit of writing. That's pretty good. So anyway, they wrote this scene specifically, for me, for gosh sake. So anyway, we get ready to go, and the director goes, action! And so Robert comes walking by the funeral urns, and he comes over, and he sits down at the table there, and he gives me this kind of dejected look, and he starts pulling all these dollar bills out of all the pockets. They're all wadded up and everything, and he lays them on the table and kind of slides them across over to me, and I pick up all the dollar bills and I straighten them all out, and I kind of act like I'm counting them, and I look up and give him a meaningful look, and then I I just, I take the money and I set it down and I reach down and I pick up the box of ashes, and I set it up on the table. Cut! The director comes over and he says, "Hey, Craig, if you could not set the bag of ashes on the table like it's a bag of groceries, that would be really great." And I'm like, "All right, yeah, right, okay, yeah." So we get all set up again. Everything's ready to go. Action. Robert walks past the funeral urns. And he comes over. He sits down. He gives me this, kind of tired, dejected look. He peels out all these dollar bills, all out of his pockets, rolls them across the table to me. I, take all of them. I straighten them out. I count all the dollar bills. I give him a meaningful look. I put the money down. I very reverentially pick up the box of ashes. Very reverentially set it gently on the table. Gently slide it across the table. And cut! The director comes over. "Craig, if you could not give Robert that creepy smile, and you slide the ashes over." 8 takes it took for me to do a 30-second spot. I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of dollars it took for me to do it. But I finally got it done. So anyway, you can see my great moment of fame there. I don't know if you guys